steering feel review. Today, I'm in a Mazda RX-8 R3. I'm going to be testing every element of this car's steering. It's my standard test that you can see on the side, and I'm doing this because cars that steer well are special and should be celebrated more. So we're here to find out if the RX-8 is one of those cars. A huge thanks to Billy for bringing this car down and letting me review it. If you're local to me and would like to see your car on Steering Feel Review, please use the link in the description, send me an email, or drop me an Instagram DM. The RX-8 has a wheelbase of 2,700mm. It has a steering rack ratio of 16.4 to 1, which is relatively slow, and it's about 3 turns lock to lock on the steering. What we have to remember is that this car does not have hydraulic steering like MX-5s of the generation. This uses an electromechanical steering, which basically means it's a hydraulic steering rack with an electric pump. And that does change things drastically. Let's get out on the road, see how it drives. Spirited driving in an RX-8. Second gear. We hunt for that beep. It inspires a ton of confidence. I really like the way this stock engine sounds. People don't tell you this, but you get a lot of intake sound in RX-8s. Oh, I can't get over that sound, it's so fun. Brakes on this car, nice too, very progressive. But let's talk about the steering then. What is the directness of the steering? Averagely so. There's more slop than I was expecting. That much there just starts to turn you. Once it's in a corner, feels a bit better. But there's definitely some slop. This car is on a completely standard factory alignment. I've noticed the turning seems to have like a bit of a delay to it. You have to come way off of center to actually start turning. Kind of makes it feel like the rack's a little bit slower than what it is, which is interesting. Slightly better than average, but a bit weird and artificial. And slightly too much play in the middle. There's like a very light disconnection. It doesn't feel like the steering rack is locked into the wheels. There's just, I think it's this play. It drives very differently to my MX-5. Now it's a longer wheelbase and it's a different design, but it also steers so differently. And as a result, the experience is very different. This feels far more modern than my NC MX-5. Still very fun to hustle down a back road, but it's just lost that edge of communication interaction that I really like. The thing is, this car has wider tires and more grip, but then less communication, so it just feels like everything that I used to complain about with my M2. How is the weighting? When you've got it loaded up, it actually weights up a little bit. It's quite satisfying to drive. The weighting of the rack is not bad. It feels very natural. It's fairly light, maybe like average-ish, slightly on the lighter side. But then as you get into corners, it loads up a little bit. It's actually quite good. It just, I think because of the lack of directness, it feels a little bit artificial. It definitely feels nothing like modern electric racks, which just don't weigh up at all, pretty much. It's definitely better than that. It's very interesting, and not what I thought I would be feeling in this car. Like right there, it's actually weighed up quite a lot, and that wasn't even like a high-speed corner. Okay, what about the texture? It's muted. It's not as much. There's like a filter between the steering wheel and the wheels. It's not terrible, but it's definitely number. And this is what I mean when I say, like, electric steering is just inferior to hydraulic. It just is. If you took this car and put it on a spicy fast road alignment, you would get some of that back. But as it stands now, it's just pretty average. We've been driving today through wet sections, dry sections, and at no point has this car informed me through the steering that the section is wet or the section is dry. It's just all felt the same. So what is an RX-8 like to drive around town? specifically for its steering. You know, you hear about these cars and rotary engine and rear-wheel drive and manual. They seem quite finicky and you're not sure if you'd want to drive this every day. As far as the driving experience goes, I can confirm this is a wonderful car to daily. This is actually the Series 2 with slightly stiffer and lower suspension than the Series 1, but it is perfectly livable around town. The steering is pretty direct at lower speeds. It's not too heavy. It's very natural. I mean, I'm navigating it around potholes and situations and it's perfectly easy. It's just a really nice thing to drive. Like, I've been driving it now for the best part of an hour, I think, and at no point, not once, has it annoyed me in any way. I just think this is a really good daily driver, which makes no sense because it's an RX-8. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to keep this going in the right direction, which cannot be said for a lot of cars of this generation. At lower speeds, the steering gets even lighter, so it's really easy to maneuver with one hand. Like, it's everything you would want in an everyday car, and they put it in an RX-8. Let's see how it self-centers. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. Why do RX-8s drive so normally? What is this? I was expecting the steering to be as extreme and as spicy as its engine, and it's just not. Super easy to adjust. Very good. What is an RX-8 like to drive at higher speeds, such as motorways or highways? Well, because of the engine, you need 3 downshifts before you're in the power band. But it feels very satisfying to do that. And the steering is shockingly stable. I actually said something out loud, which I'm kind of surprised by, which is that this car drives like a modern BMW. Very German, it's very granite. It's not nervous, probably because it's got a fairly long wheelbase. But this electric steering has that character. It just feels solid, man. It's got a little bit of dead zone for going straight, which is always nice. But you could steer this car hundreds and hundreds of miles with no fatigue. But you guys will notice some cars, I'm holding 2 hands on the wheel and I'm focusing. This car, I don't need to, man. It's very stable. It just goes where you point it. It likes to track straight. It's very easy. I'm really surprised by this car's motorway manners. And I have to add, very quiet in here. Very livable. I'm really surprised. Like, this is actually a very good everyday car. If it wasn't for, you know, the reliability and the fuel efficiency. If you can deal with those things and you're happy to look after a car, this is a phenomenal daily driver. Okay, conclusions and scores. This is not what I thought it was going to be. I really thought this was going to drive like a big MX-5. It kind of doesn't. It actually reminds me a lot of German cars. It still has those rear-wheel drive characteristics. When you get on throttle, the car stabilizes through the corner. It's really nice. It's shockingly quiet in here, really comfortable. These Recaros are bloody awesome. The position is really nice in here. I'm very cocooned and hugged, and it feels very sporty. The engine is fantastic. It has good power. The gearbox is super responsive and feels good to use. The brakes even have a good amount of power. It's a good looking car. I mean, there's so many things right. But the steering. For spirited driving, it just is not direct. Really at all. It's quite a slow rack, which I don't normally complain about, but I think it's the combination of slow rack plus long wheelbase. The weighting is quite good and it can weigh up in corners, but the texture is very little, doesn't really give you that sense of what the road is doing. So I'm going to give this car a 5 out of 10. And that hurts my soul because I really wanted it to be better than that. What about normal driving? Well, it's shockingly nice to drive. Steering's really easy. At lower speeds, it's not too heavy. At higher speeds, it's very solid. and German feeling. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for normal driving because it does everything well. It has the baseline of being average at everything, and then I think on the motorway and at high speeds, it's just a little bit more stable. It's just a little bit nicer than your average car. That is not what I thought I'd be saying here today, but there you go. YouTube wants you to watch this video, but if you've enjoyed this RX-8 review, you might like another episode of Steering Feel Review. My name's Mick. I drive cars. Peace.